Leeds is going through a period of long-term change that isn't being driven by one single project, but several large developments moving forward at the same time. Across the city, major investment is being directed into regeneration, transport planning, and large-scale assets that shape how Leeds function day to day, where people live and how they move around, and how the city positions itself economically. Some of these projects are already under construction, others in long-term planning, and some are moving forward from approval into delivery. What they share is scale, long timelines, and an impact that goes beyond individual sites. This breakdown looks at three of the most significant developments currently shaping Leeds: the South Bank regeneration, the long-planned tram and mass transit system, and the expansion of Elland Road Stadium. Each one addresses a different pressure on the city, but together they show how Leeds is trying to grow, connect, and compete over the coming decades. At the centre of Leeds South Bank sits Aire Park, a 24-acre mixed-use district of the former Tetley Brewery site that includes an 8-acre public park, one of the largest new city centre parks in the UK, alongside around 1,350 homes and more than 1 million square foot of commercial space covering offices, retail and leisure. Parts of the public spaces include Tetley Green and Theatre Gardens, are already open as phases progress, with the scheme designed to connect the city centre southwards and act as a catalyst for wider development. The South Bank as a whole does not have a single fixed price because it's a long-term regeneration zone delivered in phases, but around £350 million is the widely cited figure linked to the core regeneration framework adopted by Leeds City Council, reflecting public and early enabling investment in planning, infrastructure, flood mitigation, site preparation and public spaces to unlock development, alongside rolling private investment that brings total spend into the billions over time. Across the wider South Bank area, plans envisage 8,000 new homes, with hundreds already being approved across multiple sites. Residential schemes coming forward alongside public squares, shops, restaurants and community space, and further phases underway or in planning. The regeneration is tied to Leeds' long-term economic strategy, with an established vision for around 35,000 jobs, significant commercial expansion, and the inclusion of office space and cultural venues to support growth in creative, digital and professional sectors, while reconnecting former industrial districts to the city centre. Delivery is guided by a long-term master plan and planning framework developed by Leeds City Council, with landowners and stakeholders shaped through public consultation and supported by infrastructure upgrades, particularly improved walking and cycling routes and stronger links to Leeds Station, to ensure that the South Bank functions as a cohesive urban district. The proposed Leeds Tram forms part of the wider West Yorkshire mass transit system, a planned rapid transport network intended to serve Leeds, Bradford and surrounding parts of West Yorkshire. The scheme is designed to introduce a modern tram-style system integrated with buses, rail services, walking and cycling, rather than operating as a standalone transport project. Leeds is currently one of the largest cities in Europe without a light rail or tram system, and the programme exists to address long-standing capacity, reliability and connectivity constraints across the region. The mass transit network is being developed by West Yorkshire Combined Authority, working with local councils including Leeds and Bradford. Early plans include tram corridors linking Leeds city centre to Bradford, as well as routes serving South Leeds and other major residential and employment areas. Initial cost estimates place the system at around £2.5 billion, covering infrastructure, vehicles, depots and supporting works. The project is structured as a phased network and allowing additional corridors to be added over time rather than delivering all routes at once. Originally, the first tram services were expected to open in the early to mid-2030s. Following a government review of the programme, delivery expectations were revised and services are now anticipated to begin operating in the late 2030s. The delay is linked to changes in how the scheme must progress through business case approvals, planning stages and risk assessments, with a more sequential development process recommended to reduce delivery risk. Despite the revised timeline, political leaders at both regional and national level have reaffirmed their commitment to delivering the system. During 2025 and 2026, consultations have been launched on how future housing, employment and regeneration should align with the proposed mass transit corridors, including work on a regional development framework. The tram plan now sits in a long-term planning and development phase, with its eventual impact dependent on funding continuity, planning approvals, and how closely land use decisions align with the future transport network. Elland Road, the home of Leeds United, is set to undergo a major expansion after receiving planning approval from Leeds City Council in early January 2026. The approved plans would increase the stadium capacity from around 37,000 seats to approximately 53,000, placing Elland Road among the largest football stadiums in England. The expansion focuses primarily on the West Stand, also known as the John Charles Stand, and the North Stand known as the Don Revie Stand, alongside targeted upgrades to parts of the South Stand and surrounding infrastructure. The construction is planned to be phased, allowing the stadium to remain operational through the works, with enabling works beginning shortly after planning approval and major construction scheduled to start after 2025 to 2026 football season. Early reports suggest that the rebuilt West Stand could be completed by the end of 2028, with further phases including the North Stand continuing into the early 2030s. While no official total costs have been confirmed, media estimates have placed the development value at around £150 million. A key driver behind the expansion is demand, with approximately 26,000 supporters on the season ticket waiting list at the time of approval. Once completed, the stadium is expected to meet UEFA Category 4 standards, enabling Elland Road to host major international fixtures and showcase events. Beyond football, the project is positioned as a wider regeneration effort around Elland Road, with anticipated impacts including job creation, increased visitor spending and future investment in surrounding areas, strengthening the stadium's role as both sporting venue and long-term economic asset for Leeds. Taken together, these projects show a city planning well beyond the short term. Leeds South Bank is about reshaping land use and expanding the city centre southwards over decades, with housing, jobs and public spaces delivered in phases rather than all at once. The Tram, a mass transit plan, sits on the much longer horizon, with delivery now pushed into the late 2030s, but it remains central to how future growth, housing and employment are all meant to align across the region. The Elland Road expansion is more immediate and more defined, but it also plays into wider regeneration, visitor spending and the city's profile nationally and internationally. None of these projects finishes quickly, and none of them works in isolation. Their outcomes depend on funding continuity, planning decisions and infrastructure timing, and how demand actually materialises over time. What's clear is that Leeds is committing to change at scale, not through one headline project, but through a series of long-running decisions that will shape how the city works for years to come. If you enjoyed this video and you want more videos just like this, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to my channel and comment your thoughts on these projects in the comments below. If you enjoy videos just like this and you want to find out more, please check out my channel and check out these two videos next to me.